Hey guys, I just want to make one thing clear. It's just something happened to come to mind. It's just the fact that you guys may have a job, you guys may have family, guys may have friends. You're only here to, and I quote, make you happy. What does right for you, do for you. That doesn't mean that you can't do for other people, but you have to make sure you're good so you can do for other people. Because if you're not good, you can't do for other people. Number two, there's something called protecting the sanity. Because yes, everybody has a breaking point. That is true. Two, people don't make you do anything. People can't make you do anything. You allow yourself to get to that place. Number two, life is only but so long and only but so short. So if it's not a life or death situation, I even have problems with this myself. Why am I arguing with somebody? And number two, you may be the younger person. You may be the younger person or you may be the older person. But if you're a younger person, or even if you're an older person, that with that being said, basically speaking of, is that people are people, intelligence is intelligence, maturity is maturity. Just because you're older than somebody, that does not mean you're more mature than them. And just because you're younger, that doesn't mean that you're less mature. You may be younger than somebody. It may be the adult in the situation because of how you handle situations, and that's not a bad thing. Especially if that's not a bad thing. That just means that you're more mature. Say, people that got their first jobs, you may have a manager that is absolute trash to you. That sometimes treats you as if you're not even a person, like you don't have feelings. And yes, you have to work somewhere. You don't have to work somewhere, but if you need the money, that's the job you choose. Yes, you have to deal with certain things, and yes, you have to put up with certain things, but at the same time, sometimes you just have to say okay and all right and, sure best you. Because it takes two to tango, and eventually, people love to, I'm not going to say complain, but people love to talk about problems, especially if the problems don't have a solution. Wait a minute. 9 times 10, the problems do have a solution. So when people love to talk about situations and complain about situations that they can change, and it's not really benefiting them to complain. Now, yes, I'm all about people venting, but if you're venting about the same thing every other day, and you're not in the process of changing it, or you're not trying to change it, and you know this don't happen every day or every hour, then why complain about it? Just try to manage to make it better for you. With all that being said, when people complain, it's two things that people can't stand. They can't stand if they don't feel like they're being heard, and they can't stand also when people are talking, complaining, or fussing when they're not getting a response. People love to complain and people love to talk when they're not getting a response. When I say they love it, I mean to say they love to hate it because they hate it. Imagine, people hate complaining when they feel like someone's not listening. And then, because too, eventually, people make a talk you day in and day out, but eventually they have to take a break. Can't nobody just motorball and go off the mouth all day, every day, because eventually they have to take a break. And number two, also, I've said it once again, I've said it once many times. Some people don't care about being right in a situation. Sometimes it's okay to remove yourself from a situation because at the end of the day, certain things aren't worth it. It's really not worth it. And I'm not saying just, make people feel important. I'm not saying that people aren't important, but you may not have people in your life like that, but some people or people lives like that. Or two, you may know somebody that's like that, where whenever you talk to them, it's always something negative. It's never anything positive. Like, if every day and every situation is bad, then you might have to look at, is it really bad, or you might be taking things out of proportion. With all that being said, is that don't let nobody get you out of your hookup, because some people really be jealous. Like, some people be jealous, or some people want what you have, or some people just be upset because, say, some, like, for example, it's a bunch of older people, they be, crapping down on younger people for some fact that they ain't young no more. They wish they was young. And it's not your fault that they upset at you, especially if you did nothing directly to this person. Number two, people always get upset about what somebody said. Yes, words hurt, but if something wasn't severely offensive, like something that directly was for you, meant, intended to you a certain way, like if it's not a piece of paper or a letter that's typed out that are going directly to you, for you. Some people have aggressive personalities. Some people talk a certain way. When people talk a certain way, they give off a certain vibe. So that means that just because someone says something a certain type of way, and say you might have not had enough sleep, and you get upset and it starts an argument, or you get upset and you say something to this person when it wasn't even intended or meant that way, but that's how they took it. And it's not your fault how they took it if you know you didn't mean it in that way. With that being said, a lot of times people try to push their problems onto you when it's not really a problem that you cause. It's a problem with them. With all that being said, peace and hair grease, and yeah, that's all I had to say. I know that was kind of a mouthful, but that's all I had to say. Goodbye. Everybody have a good day now. I love this lighting though. Like, hey, somebody hit me up for some pictures. Yeah.